The default Google Sheets trigger in n8n checks for updates every minute. That is 1440 checks per day. And also 1440 wasted executions if there is no change. I will show you step by step how to fix this using a simple script. Instead of n8n checking if something changed, we will tell Google Sheets to contact n8n when a change happens. So we don't need this trigger, and we will start with a webhook. It is a post request. And we need the production URL. And now publish this one. Publish. Okay, now go to our sheet. We will be using a script inside this sheet. So therefore we go to extensions, apps script. Okay, this is me. And we use this function. What this basic script does is first it sets the variable, the URL, so that's the webhook, and then the payload it's gonna send to the webhook. And that will happen if something changes. So this is the payload that will be sent to this webhook, and here is the part where it is sent to that webhook. And if we deploy, we give it a name, web app, n8n connection. You can leave this as it is, deploy. But now if we change something in our sheet, nothing will happen yet because we need to attach a trigger to it. Therefore we go here on the left to triggers, add trigger. There is only one function. This no need to change, and select event type is on change. We're gonna save this. Okay, now let's see what happens. Let's change this to 444. Okay, and now go to our workflows, executions. Oh, it just arrived. And let's see what's inside. So as you can see, this only sends to n8n. Hey, something has changed. So we need to add something more to our script that will be sent to n8n. So go back to our script. This will be the new script. No worries, the script will be in the description below. So now as payload, we will send something has changed, the name of the user, the spreadsheet ID, the sheet name, the name of the cell that has been changed, the new value of the cell, which row it is, and which column. Now we save this. And we're gonna change this one to 333 and see what happens. Go to our workflow back again. And now if we open this, this is what we received. Something has been edited. The user, that's me, the spreadsheet ID, that's the ID of the spreadsheet, the name of the sheet, cell D3 has been changed, the new value is 3333, the row number and the column number. This works great, right? But what if we change this one and this one and also this one? You see, for every cell that has been changed, a new message is sent to n8n. To solve this, we will change some things in our script and sheet. I will add a new column, state. And the state is a drop-down box between a slash and update. So the purpose is that we only send a payload to n8n when the status or the state becomes update. But therefore we need to adjust our script too. Again, it is a bit similar as the previous script, just something gets changed. So the target column is 7. This is this one. And it's a 7 column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the column we're gonna monitor. And the monitor trigger is update. And then after we have sent it, we will send it back to the default value. When will it be sent to n8n? So if the value of a cell in column 7, so in the state column, equals update. And then in the payload, we take the row data. So that means we take everything that is in that row and we send it to n8n. Okay, now let's save this. Let's change the name of this product to new product and we're gonna update it. And now let's check our executions. And you see a new execution has arrived or a new payload has reached our webhook. And let's see what's in it. This is the first column, the second column, the third column, the fourth column, the fifth one. And this is the new product name. And again, works perfect, you would say, but there are some flaws. Let me show you. So we change this one to 444, change this one to 555. And now if I click in this row on update, what will be sent to n8n? Row number 4, which was this one, and not the cells that have been changed. And to solve this, we need step number 3, and that will be the final solution and works for everything. We remove this column and create a new column. Timestamp. It needs to have the date value of the date format, I mean. And again, something needs to be changed to our script. So the new script will look like this. Don't worry, it's a bit similar to the previous ones and I will explain later. First, we need to change something in our sheet. We will add a button that triggers everything. So therefore we go to Insert and Drawing. Here we choose, let's say, a rounded rectangle. It doesn't matter. We put in some text. Okay, it's not the most professional looking button, but it will do its work. Save and close. Okay, but now nothing is happening. We need to attach it to a function in our script. Therefore, right click on it, click on the 3 buttons or the 3 points, assign script, and the send changes function needs to be attached to it. So copy it. So now when this button is clicked, it will trigger the function. Now let me explain what is in the script. We only check the first sheet, which has the name master. We check for rows that are edited or have been changed. And if there is a change in a row, we update also the date column. And then the send changes. It's a bit like before. How do we know what to send in the payload to n8n? So we check when it was last synchronized. Therefore, we use this column. But now it's empty. So we put it to -1. So we know it has not been synchronized yet, but it will be populated later on. And then we loop through the data to see what has been changed after the last synchronization. And here you will see something weird. Row 6, while in fact it is column 7. But for this one we use an onEdit, and that acts a bit differently than onChange. So how to explain it? It's like it's turned 90 degrees. The columns became rows. And it starts from 0 and not from 1. So column 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, now became row 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we compare the timestamps. So between the last time it has been synchronized and the time of now, and if there has something been changed. And if something changed, it will be sent to n8n. So now let's save this. Now also 444 and now submit. Successfully synced one row, and let's check what's happening. What is inside the webhook? Only one row has changed, and these are the new values of the row. You can send whatever you want. If you only want to send one value, you can also do it. You know by now how to do it. And let's check what happens if we change more than one. Triple A, or quadruple A, triple B. So we changed 4 rows, and now if we click submit, successfully synced 4 rows. One webhook incoming. What's inside? 1, 2, 3, 4 rows that have been updated with the new values of each row. So this is for me the best and easiest way to communicate between Google Sheets and n8n. Much better than polling every minute from n8n to Google Sheets. Hey, has something changed? No, okay, one execution lost. So this only contacts n8n when changes have been made. And as always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one. If you want to have something similar implemented for your company or your business, please contact me. This is what I do, and my contact details are in the description below.